What do you think happened? Just your personal historical theoretic mind. What do you think happened to black people so much so that they become the bottom feeders of the earth? Well, how did they go from the Mansa Musas and the Cleopatras and the Ramses and all of the pharaohs and all of the great, stories you hear about how black people were this and black people were that. We were kings, we were queens, and we were all over the peninsulas, all in all the different continents, and we had it just going on. What, dude? Well, first and foremost, how in the fuck the whole globe of black people got it? Like, how did what do you think actually happened? And
Well,
I don't care how crazy it sounds, but what do you think happened so that black people fell to this low to this low of a state?
just like there was an ice age, there will be a fire age. Have you heard that before?
Mm-hmm. We're not in the age of fire, but yes, I heard that before.
The reality, the realm we live in is a realm of polarity and duality. All great things must come to end. You know how much all is? All great things must come to an end. In addition to that, all bad things must come to an end. We go through a state of ebb and flow. It's called a great year. And
But what do
within
you
that,
think actually happened though? Like, what is in your opinion? What do you think black people did? What was the straw that broke the camel back, or what was the practice or pattern that we got into that made our people fall so low, so much so that we're not even, we're not nowhere near where we once were?
according to Chancellor Williams, author of the book "The Destruction of a," according to Dr. Chancellor Williams, "The Destruction of a Black
Mm.
Civilization,"
Go.
he said. Now I'm looking at the book. I got the book right there.
Oh, okay, go.
According to him, it was when we started having sex with white women. That was the fall of our civilization. That was the start.
Whoa! You serious?
And that's according to Dr. Chancellor Williams.
Do you? I say, do you believe that though? Do you think
I'm
that?
compelled to believe that.
Do you? So, because remember, that's all right. Well, now we gotta go. Now we gotta actually, because now we gotta ask you this question because the people who started that practice were the Moors.
Well, I don't want
Remember,
to say started that.
yes. Remember when remember the ritual of the burning sands is when Africa marched them out of Africa into the mountains of Europe and roped them in Europe. Okay. And the Moors came and freed them out of the Dark Age, henceforth the story of Moses. And then they got trained by the Moors and they invaded, so-called invaded, which is I haven't seen any real true proof that the bulk of it happened, but they invaded the West African and so-called the transatlantic slave trade beginning in slavery. Um, you know, like, what do you think about that, bro? Like, what is your take on that whole on that whole scenario?
Of course, that was a major. Our gift is our curse. Our gift is our
Man,
curse.
so he said the reason why you agree with the guy in the book?
Dr. Chancellor Williams, yes, I think he has a strong assessment.
He agrees with Dr. Chancellor Williams. Dr. Chancellor Williams. So I asked him, why do you think black people why we fell? And he said, Chancellor Williams said in the book, the reason why we fell is because we began sleeping with white women. And let me see that book. Yeah, hold that up for the people so they can screenshot. Y'all screenshot that book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. Great issues of a race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD. God damn. Ooh.
He said we destroyed the race when we started mixing with the seed. Don't mix the seed.
When the sons of God began to mate with the daughters of men and seen that they were fair on some shit.
Amen.
So and you gotta say that's plausible because you gotta look at who's responsible for the fall, and it's not the women. The women can't be responsible for the fall when the men are the protectors, the servers, maintainers, sustainers, and the providers of the people. So the fall of black people is definitely the man's fault. It's just that what was it? And to this day, them niggas do that right now. Them niggas get $1 million, and he's gonna keep balling and balling, and you get it right, girl. And when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. Yeah. Damn, son. So you actually think that the fall of black? So hold on. So where does that? So now. So I guess that's now you understand why they call it Judgment Day, because take the T off of judgment and you got men. And in certain sacred circles, sister circles of women who acknowledge the goddess principle and the sacred feminine energy that's ushering upon the earth, it says that energy is going to usher in and judge men. And that is a real good reason to judge men. Hey, if that is the reason why black people fail, I know for a fact we are about to get judged like a motherfucker. That is going to be like, man. Yeah, I gotta read that book. I gotta go see what he's talking about. Because that, when you think about it, that's the only real, plausible explanation, if you will. Unless you're believing in the story of Yakub.
I do subscribe to the story of Yakub, yes, sir.
Okay, and I do subscribe to the story of Yakub as well. So now it goes to the Blacked Out and White Walls, because Blacked Out, I don't know if you've ever read Blacked Out Through White Walls by Dr. Susan Epps, but have you never, man, go get this book, man, please go do yourself a favor and get this book. It's the book right here. Me and Seiko got down on it, Blacked Out Through White Walls. She's an etymologist, and she break down the four different ways that the albinos were created. And they said the Yakub story was one way, and that was one way that came about. But he said, the climbing story, that was another way as well. And so on and so forth. They had 4 different ways. But